I scream, you scream, we all scream for monsters. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill. We're back with our breakdown series. So today, man, you know what time it is. You see the title. We have been on an absolute journey of epic proportions with Epic the Musical. This is the next line of Saga right here, right now. It's none other than the Underworld Saga. But before we get any further, I want to give a quick shout out to the Patreon. Listen, if you like the content that I put out on this channel and you want to support what I do, a lot of reactions I cannot monetize. So the Patreon is a great way to show love, great way to support. There's so much more content on there, a lot going on, great family, great community. If you want to join up, I'll put all links down there. But anyways, know what we're here for. Epic, step back up to the plate, see what you got.
Friends, Cersei's instructions were clear. No matter what we hear, full speed ahead until we find the prophet. My comrades, this land confuses your mind. So no matter who we find, full speed ahead until we find the prophet.
Good. I'm confused, but hang on, I think I'm catching up now. Because obviously you hear the ship creaking. And he said, you know, no matter what we hear. And I'm sat like, hang on, this is the Underworld Saga. This isn't the Sirens in Scylla, because that comes after. So, hang on.
My comrades, this land confuses your mind.
This land confuses my mind indeed. So they've actually gone into the Underworld?
So no matter who we find, full speed ahead until we find the prophet. Good.
Has to be, right? Wow, so that is what we're doing. Okay, all right, let me readjust. Right, because in the Odyssey, right, Cersei instructs Odysseus how to basically, it's like witchcraft, how to summon the ghosts from the underworld. So they don't go down to the house of Hades, right? But they basically bring the house of Hades to them. They bring the underworld to them with all the spirits and ghosts. And he digs this trough and he does this intricate ritual that Cersei advises him to do. And then the ghosts come, they drink the blood, and everyone who drinks the blood then can speak to them. And they have to fight off some of the ghosts that they don't want to talk to with their swords and keep them at bay, waiting, hopefully, for the blind prophet, for the ones that Odysseus wants to speak to come.
No matter what.
So the way Jorge set this up is that but it makes sense because the world of the Odyssey, like we're going to these different lands, these different places, right? It's mythical. Sometimes it goes beyond into the realm of fantasy. So he's taking it and we're actually sailing through the realm of the underworld. All right, cool.
We hear
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk as I caught myself there.
Until we find the prophet. My comrades, this land confuses your mind. So no matter who we find, full speed ahead until we find the prophet. Good.
I like the use of like the creaking timber just to add to the ominous presence right now. Oh. Wow.
All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who've died. Nothing's what it seems. Nothing's what it seems. And here in the underworld, the past seems close behind. This land confuses your mind.
Wow. I tell you what, that build of those screams is haunting. I got chills there, right? Because it does remind me of the scene within the Odyssey when all the ghosts come and you have like all these voices and these screams. And in this case, they're the screams of the dead. But it's very cleverly written again because you've got a double here of all the screams and him not being able to sleep, right? Because he's seeing in his nightmares the screams of his men. So we're literally in the underworld being pursued by the dead and hearing their screams versus it's like it's no different to what Odysseus experiences every night because he's not able to sleep because of all the regrets that he has from the screams and the death and the dying wails of his men.
Time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who've died. Nothing's what it seems. Nothing's what it seems. And here in the underworld, the past seems.
You have just nice heavier percussion here, and then off to the side's like just add a little bit of like a bounce to it, almost like a rap sort of hit to it, man.
And here in the underworld, the past seems close behind. This land confused.
I can't help but feel like he's speaking that, and they don't have to be in the underworld for him to feel like the past seems close behind. But then obviously he's applying it to the ghosts. Literally, the past is literally behind them because ghosts are following them.
Is your mind. When does a man become a monster?
Oh, nice callback to that.
158 men who died under your command. Captain, 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 why would you let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy? All I hear are screams. Every time I dare.
Isn't that funny? Because, you know, obviously bringing back around themes. When does a man become a monster? And this is that struggle of morality that he's had ever since he was basically forced by the gods to, you know, throw Hector's son off of the city walls, right? So we're still struggling with that identity of man versus monster. But now we're taking it and we're applying it throughout the Odyssey now as we reflect on the past. But like, I can't help but feel like the captains that are said. Before you had Captain and then Polyphemus eats another one. Then you had Captain and the giants killed another one. And the ships were destroyed. So like that Captain has a different connotation for me. But all of a sudden it's switched yet again. This is what Jorge does. Like he takes themes, he takes certain phrases, certain sounds, and then he reuses them. But because of the context and as the story progresses, they all of a sudden take on a new meaning, a new connotation. Really, really cleverly put together.
Captain, Captain.
And then also the obsession with the number of men that were alive. He was bragging about all of his 600 men that were chilling and made it through the war with the Trojans before. And now look what he has left. It wasn't the war that took them. It's been this whole epic.
Captain, why would you let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy? All I hear are...
And that was Poseidon's lines. Ruthlessness is mercy, right? You should have killed him. But your hubris and also your striving to be kind, look where it got you. Because that's why I extracted revenge on you. That's why I came for you. And now his men lament that. I can only think that that's his dead men that are saying that to him because they're the ones who have to deal with the consequences of that.
The Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy. All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who die. Nothing's what it seems. Nothing's what it seems. But in the underworld, the past seems close behind. I keep thinking of the infant from that night. I keep thinking of the infant from that night. This life is a mess.
There it is. There it is. He comes back around. Again, so well put together. Just bringing this theme back. This is the man becoming a monster. And this is one of his greatest regrets on top of losing all his men.
I keep thinking of the infant from that night. This life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. Whatever we face will be fine if we're leading from the heart. No matter the place where we can light up the world, here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms.
Interesting how the voices mix too. Because it's not like fully there in the mix in terms of presence, right? There's a filter run through it. But it makes you think by using this sort of mixing technique that, you know, he's still speaking as it goes. So there's still that barrier between the present and the land of the flesh and those who are gone. And obviously his last words, greet the world with open arms. We're bringing all the themes. Every theme is coming around full circle now. Like approaching life with optimism that he approached life with, that he advised him with before he became a yummy, juicy Cyclops snack. You know, he's still appealing to his friend to show kindness. Whereas Odysseus is still struggling with the death of his men and the price of that kindness that he showed. And still those clashing worldviews coming together again.
Apologies. That voice. It can't be. too long. I'll always love you and venture too far.
When they both sing waiting together, because they're waiting in a different sense now, because obviously she's in the underworld, but she was waiting and she died from heartbreak. And Odysseus, and this is true of the Odyssey too, like he doesn't realize that his mom is in the underworld, that she is passed. So this is the first time that he's discovering this. Man, that gives me chills. That is haunting. Oh.
Bye, Mom.
Wow. Oh man, that just
Bye, Mom.
Those of you who don't know, on the journey that I've been on, and it's not my journey really, it's my mom's journey, but you know, she was diagnosed with cancer and she's been on a chemo journey, and obviously this song and you start exploring these themes, it's gonna get to me, isn't it? Oh.
Bye, Mom. All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who've died. Nothing's what it seems. But in the underworld, your past is always close behind. Your past is always close behind. Down in the underworld.
Wow. What a visceral, haunting track. And I love when he deals with his mom and obviously his friend, Polites, and everything's kind of softened. And even the harmonic range that shows, and it's higher, it's more beautiful, right? And then after he deals with that and has that emotional moment, it's like he doesn't break then. Then he breaks when you have that crescendo. And then everything rises and picks up. And man, he pushes the power chords. He's got a nice voice. Whew, that was one. Bass to your haunting strings.
I am the prophet with the answers you seek. Time, I've unlocked it. I see past and future running free. There is a world where I help you get home, but that's not a world I know. What?
Oh.
I see a
All right, Tiresias, we just gonna drop that in, okay.
the answers you seek.
All right, so the story of Tiresias, right? It was Zeus and Hera, and they had this bet going, basically, who got more pleasure from sex. Was it men or women? So Tiresias, touches the snakes and turns into a woman, tries that for a little while, sees how that goes. Then he goes back to trying it as a man, and then he weighs in on it. And he weighed in on that women had more pleasure during sex. So Zeus was like, yes, fist pump, because he won the bet. But Hera and the gods, being vindictive, right? He went and struck him of his eyesight and made him blind. But Zeus, because Zeus won the bet, and obviously Zeus is, getting that bonus, that double down in Vegas. So he turns around and he goes, right, I'm going to give you a gift. Since you've lost your sight in the present world, I'm going to give you omnipotent sight. I'm going to give you sight for the past, for the present, and for the future. And that's how he became the prophet. There's another one where he saw Athena naked, but that came like later on. Like the more relevant one and the older one that has been more passed on is the Zeus competition one with Hera. But that he saw Athena naked, and then for that she struck her eyes, but then in her wisdom she gave him the power to see through it all and to be a prophet.
I am the prophet.
And it's interesting that we go to the underworld to seek him, right? Because you think about like time in the underworld and everybody else in the underworld. Like even when they visit Odysseus within the epic, like when Achilles comes and he asks about his son and he has this conversation about fame, like they all don't know what happened. And yet he's seeking someone to know. So it just shows his power and his potential as a prophet, that he's in the underworld and he's still able to give advice. Like, his power transcends realms.
I am the prophet with the answers you seek. Time, I've unlocked it. I see past and future running free. There is a world where I help you get home.
Past and future running free. And obviously he's there in the underworld with the past and the spirits and being able to see into the future. That's a nice little double right there.
But that's not a world I know. What? I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you try a final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
What? A man who gets to make it home, but it's no longer you?
This can't
Plot twist?
be. We've suffered and sailed through the toughest of hells. Now you tell us our efforts for nothing. I see your palace covered in red.
Yeah, so we're really foreshadowing here. But what interested me was the brother lines from before. Because I'm thinking, Odysseus' brother? We must be talking about his brother-in-law, Eurylochus. And then he hinted at betrayal too in foreshadowing. So yeah, there were some Easter eggs that were dropped there in those opening lines. And then this, I can only assume, is when he gets back home and then he murders and just ends all the suitors.
Covered in red.
Covered in red, covered in blood.
Faces of men who had long believed you're dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting, a man with a trail of bodies. Ooh! I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see
Past romance between him and Penelope. Sacrifice? Has that already happened with Polites, or are we foreshadowing more sacrifice?
romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see
Because he says man. Because I'm thinking, what other sacrifices do we have? He's still got Scylla. He rides into Scylla. Like, you want to talk about a moral dilemma that he definitely faces in the Odyssey, is with Scylla and taking on the advice of Circe and whether or not to sacrifice his men, knowing that Scylla's going to take 6 heads, going to take 6 of them as they go past, but it will let the rest of his crew escape.
I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's
Portrayals of betrayal. Nice little internal rhyme scheme there.
final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you try your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
Yeah. Yeah. This choir chanting is haunting. It's like a church filled with spirits. That was nice writing and delivery and build up there, because you have a little bit of misdirection, but then I could tell where it was going, right? Because that man is no longer you, because you will be forever changed by the events of what's to come. You're already changed at this point from your Odyssey, but there's still more to come.
But it's no longer.
And again, that battle of morality and him just trying to be just a man, right? And him lamenting that he's just a mortal caught between gods. But in this case, the prophet is saying he's not even going to be man.
You
hear that little breath too? Just that little breath of just building up the suspense right there. And that final rolling hit. I've really loved the production on these last two. Yeah. That's chills as well. He loves just that little run-in intro sound. Build it and then see where we drop and go.
How has everything been turned against us?
Even this, like the filter on it, it just sounds like from a depth, from just a different realm still in terms of the instrumentation.
How did suffering become so endless? How am I to reunite with my estranged? Do I need to change? I'm surrounded by the souls of those I've lost. I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed.
Oh.
What if the greatest...
That's an interesting line. I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed. Like, everyone's pushed me and everyone's drawn lines, sort of lines in the sand, right? But the only one I've never compromised is myself.
One whose line I haven't crossed.
Why is that, though? Let's see where we expand on this.
What if the greatest threat we'll find across the sea is me? What if I'm the monster? What if I'm in the wrong? What if I'm the problem that's been hiding all along? What if I'm the one who killed you every time I gave to guilt? What if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves? What if I'm the monster?
What if I've been too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves? I love just that identity flip, because the whole time he's been fighting and battling these monsters, using his wits, using whatever he can. But now you flip it and you look at it from the other end of the perspective that maybe I am the monster, because my actions have led to the deaths of all of these men that surround me here in the underworld. What
if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves?
And I've kind of stayed inside my own lines. And because of that, because of my unwillingness to push out into the realm of being uncomfortable, right? To stay in my safe space of what I know, to just ease my mind and how I feel. That's that line. That's that line that he never crossed, right? I was trying to figure out how that places into this moral dilemma. And yeah.
What if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves? What if I'm the monster? Is the Cyclops struck with guilt when he kills? Is he up in the middle of the night? Or does he end my men to avenge his friend and then sleep knowing he has done him right?
To avenge his friend? Who's his friend? Was he friends with the sheep?
End my men to avenge his
That's a plot twist.
friend and then sleep knowing he has done him right. When the witch turns men,
sheep are friends, not food.
avenge his friend and then sleep knowing he has done him right. When the witch turns men to pigs to protect her nymphs, is she going insane? Or did she learn to be colder when she got older and now she saves them the pain? When a god comes down and makes the fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing something wrong? Or does he keep us in check so we must respect him and now no one dares to piss him off?
Keep him in check. We must respect. And then he goes back to the external rhymes. Nice internal, external rhyme schemes there. And right there, interesting. So that people don't piss him off. It wasn't really his motives just to get revenge for his son. There was a greater motive there. And now that's what he's doing. He's stepping back and he's looking at the greater motives of these supposed monsters who have affected them and taken the lives of his men.
Comes down and makes the fleet drown. Is he scared that he's doing something wrong?
Right, and was Cersei just protecting, like, that was their connection. We talked about the power dynamic, how Cersei was protecting hers and Odysseus was protecting his men. She's protecting her nymphs because she had that first shipwreck, her first distrust of men, thinking that men are pigs because she was taken advantage of. In other stories, her nymphs were taken advantage of, but that's what made her cold. So now it's almost like, you know, she acts in advance. Instead of being reactive, she's being proactive. She's basically preemptive warfare. But is there something to be said about that for protection, for security? And maybe Odysseus should have been more ruthless himself.
Learned to be colder when she got older, and now she saves them the pain. When a god comes down and makes a fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing something wrong? Or does he keep us in check so we must respect him, and now no one dares to piss him off? Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile? Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? If I became the monster.
But that was you. That was you. You were the soldier who tricked the Trojans.
Forced to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is
Is he going back to that because he compromised his morals then, but to save more? And maybe he's trying to find that identity, that ruthlessness from before.
Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? If I became the monster and threw that guilt away.
Really nice builds and changes in his voice. Like he started kind of lower in bass here. And then as the percussion kicked in and got heavier, right, he really pushed. And then he brings you back down. He's got just a great vocal control and just kind of changing intonation and dynamics throughout this. It's like riding the waves of the sea with it all.
Would that make us stronger? Would it keep our foes at bay? If I became the monster to everyone but us, and made sure we got home again, who would care if we're unjust? If I became that. Oh, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves, and deep down I know this well.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Notice how he tweaks that. But he's the one singing it now. Not Poseidon, not his men. Right? It's him.
And deep down I know this well.
So these voices contending with him. These demons are winning now.
I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and Telemachus. So if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die, then I'll become the monster.
Nice.
I will deal the blow.
Yo, that rap flow is nice.
And I'll become the monster like none they've ever known. So what if I'm the monster lurking deep below? I must become the monster, and then we'll make it home. Penelope, Telemachus.
Here's that calling out for his son and his wife again.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. I'll become the monster.
Foreshadowing. Just those notes. And that guitar underneath. I'll tell you what. Huge plot change right here. Right? He's been battling the whole time with these voices in his head, with these two contradicting ideologies of approaching the world with open arms versus being more ruthless. He fell out with Athena over it. Poseidon chided him over it. He's fallen out with his own crew over it, right? So now, finally, he starts to question it. And he starts to question what he has to do for survival. And it's the classic, you know, do the ends justify the means? Do the means justify the ends? You know, if I deliver everyone home safe, then does it matter how we got there? Does it matter the choices that I made? As long as I see us home, because that's the end goal at this point, right? And obviously what I'm doing isn't working. It's an endless cycle of madness. I can't seem to get back home. So maybe it's time to change. And I love the whole, again, just fighting monsters this whole time and then leaning into becoming a monster yourself in order to survive. There's also a really good line about, you know, lurking below, a monster lurking below. And you think about like a monster in the depths, like a Scylla, you know, a monster in the sea, but versus in the depths of himself, a monster looking below in that sense. Again, some clever writing and then bringing back around the Penelope. Now it's saying under a different set of instrumentation. Same sort of notes and chord structure, but now you've got just this epic percussion hit. You got just his crew, almost like a choir-like chant, but it's so much darker now. Beautiful.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. become the monster.
And I love how he sings that kind of softer, right before one more note of just tension,
Become the monster.
of darkness. I'll tell you what, that was only 3 songs, but that was really compact in terms of development, in terms of how we progress things. And I love just the exploration of the moral dilemma there. And the production for me, production went off on this one. Really good writing, really good production. Enjoyed the Underworld Saga. You were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, if you're here at the end, obviously enjoy the content. Do me a huge favor. Support the channel directly. Subscribe, notifications on. It all helps. It all goes a long way. Also, don't forget to copy merch. knoxhilldmv.com. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies. Everything you need. If you want to rep the brand, if you want to get it out there and support, it all helps. It all goes a very, very long way. I'll put all links down there. All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay positive. Take care of these, take care of these. I'll catch you again.
You know I'm going now with a bang. Bang. Tell them leave the bag in a bang. Bang. You should check the tags where we hang. Hang. You know I'm going now with a bang. Know I'm going now with a bang. Bang. Tell them leave the bag in a bang. Bang.